It's December 16th, 2014. The Virginia Cavaliers are your men's Division I national champions, and UMBC's Pete Caringi Jr. is the NSCAA Coach of the Year after the Retrievers' great run to the College Cup. And the Florida State Seminoles did not allow a goal to win the NCAA Women's Division I title. And their coach, Mark Krikorian, is the NSCAA Division I Women's Coach of the Year. We'll take a look at the Noles run and bring you all of the NSCAA Coach of the Year winners for every level of college soccer, high school, and even the Youth Coach of the Year. It's the NSCAA Coach of the Year show next, right here on NSCAA TV. Virginia Cavaliers won their 7th title and 2nd under George Galnavach this weekend up the road at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, defeating Jorge Salcedo and UCLA in penalty kicks. Congratulations to Virginia and UCLA on great seasons. And in the Women's College Cup, it was all Florida State, not allowing a single goal and winning their first title under talented head coach Mark Krikorian. Congratulations to the Florida State Seminoles, winners of the Women's College Cup. And we welcome you into the Continental Tire Studios right here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. My name is Dean Linke, proud to be the voice of the NSCAA, and what a year it has been. We have a monster show for you today, and let's show you what's on tap right here on NSCAA TV as we plan to break down everything. I'll be joined by the legendary Anson Dorrance of the UNC women's soccer program. Kelly Finley, the fine head coach for the NC State men's team, will be here. We'll visit with Florida State head coach Mark Krikorian, as well as your D2 and D3 Coach of the Year winners on the women's side. We'll take a look at the high school All-America game recap that I called on Saturday for both the boys and the girls. And, of course, we will break down all of the 2014 NSCAA Coach of the Year winners. And guess what, folks? We could not do it without the great support of Continental Tire. Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Learn more at continentaltire.com. And, of course, we told you who is coming up. He is the legendary Anson Dorrance. Take a look at that, folks. For my money, he's the most successful college coach of all time, any sport, men or women. And we're talking about UNC women's soccer coach Anson Dorrance. You see what he has accomplished right there, and that barely tells the story. And I am pleased to welcome him in, Anson Dorrance, head coach of the UNC women's soccer team. And first off, great year for women's soccer, not only on the college side, but of course this summer in Canada will be the Women's World Cup.
Yeah, and it was a great year of the collegiate game. I was sharing this with you earlier. We had 4 teams that were probably the greatest teams they've ever had in their history, all, of course, colliding in the College Cup, and it made for some tremendous soccer.
And we will get to the Final Four in just a moment. As you came in to take a look again at the NSCAA Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill, Anson, you've been an NSCAA member for so long. Now the NSCAA doing so much, both online with television, of course, in coaching education.
Well, they're promoting the game the right way. They've got the right people in leadership positions. They rotate those positions so no one feels like it's a political game. The interest of the game, the players in the game, and the coaches in the game are always the priority of the NSCAA. I love being a member of that organization. I think this is another great step forward.
Perfect setup as he talked about those 4 teams on that collision course. Let's take a look at the women's Final Four at the Division I level and tell us about all 4 of those teams, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is this is the greatest Virginia team of all time, and tragically for UCLA, which also had their greatest team of all time, they collided. They collided before the Final Four. A lot of that had to do with the fact that Virginia's non-conference schedule wasn't that aggressive. Had it been aggressive, Virginia had the caliber of team to be a Final Four team, and obviously should have been a number 1 seed. But because their non-conference schedule wasn't as good, they all of a sudden were relegated to a number 4, number 2 seed on a collision course with the number 1 seed, UCLA, on their field, and of course they beat them. But Virginia, as all of us know that played them, and they certainly played us and beat us easily, they were an absolutely superb team. And yet UCLA is not in that bracket because Virginia's schedule in the non-conference part of the year was not aggressive enough. and they couldn't prove how good they were going in. So all of a sudden, UCLA isn't in this Final Four. They are certainly one of the great collegiate teams this season, and yet weren't there because of Virginia. Texas A&M, their best team they've ever had, and they proved it by getting to their first Final Four. Florida State and Krikorian is unbelievably consistent. So for him to be there is not a surprise. Stanford out-recruits all of us on a regular basis, and this isn't a great Stanford team, and yet with an average Stanford team, they're in a Final Four. But yeah, this is a tremendous field. I enjoyed following all the games and watching all these great teams play.
All right, in the end, it was an amazing NCAA tournament by Florida State, not allowing a goal in the tournament. And thanks to Jason Laterme, let's take a look back at the championship game recap and the winner for Florida State.
For the first time in school history, the Florida State women's soccer team are national champions.
It means everything. Every year we fought for this, but this year I just think the senior class is special and this team was special, and we weren't going to leave today without a win. We fought for each other, and we got the win.
It doesn't really feel like my last game. I don't think it's hit me yet that we're national champions, but pretty soon I think when we get back to tally and as it sinks in more and more people come up to me and say congratulations or something like that, I think it'll start sinking in.
We sit here proud and pleased and feel great that we were able to find the result today against, obviously Virginia's a great team, great program. They made it very difficult for us to break them down, and I wouldn't say that it was our most attractive game, but at the end of the day, we did what we had to do to find a result, and I'm proud of the effort, proud of the kids, and happy to have the result in our favor.
It took me maybe a week of being at Florida State, a week of training, and how sore I was, and getting used to a couple of things to realize that we really could make a run for it. And then on top of that, with the players that came in that weren't here, say like Emma and other players that we didn't have in the beginning, preseason, things like that, actually seeing the team come together and how well we learned each other and how close we got in such a short amount of time, I knew that this was a special year.
The last couple minutes were definitely touch and go, but as soon as it hit that 15 seconds and the ball went out and Megan took her time, I kind of knew it. I looked back at Cassie, started yelling, and then saw the bench flood, and it was just chaos after that.
I just think we had so many different, we've had so many different attacking options, defending options, the play of the players off the bench. And I think that our group was as prepared, more prepared than we've ever been for this moment.
NSCAA! Florida State! Florida State! Florida State!
Certainly, Anson Dorrance, you've been a part of those kind of celebrations, but what a run by Florida State. They beat Virginia 3 times this year, 1-0, and did not allow a goal in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what Mark has done, not just through the season, but throughout his career. His teams are always incredibly well prepared. And the last thing you want to do against Florida State is to give up a goal, because they can just lock you down and close you out. And what was cool about watching his team play this year is it seemed like they only needed 1 goal. Because if they had that one, they could absolutely lock it down, and that's what they did in this run. But to beat Virginia, and that team's an incredible team, to beat them not just once or twice, but 3 times in a row is just a credit to Mark, his staff, and his kids, because that was a very good Virginia team he beat 3 times, and so that's a tremendous achievement from a coaching perspective, but also in any kind of championship run. And so he deserves a lot of credit for this.
All right, well said. We're here now to hand out some hardware and announce the NSCAA Coach of the Year. So let's start with Women Division I. First with your regional Coach of the Years, and pretty impressive list as you take a look at it here, Coach.
Absolutely. I mean, West Virginia University, Izzo Brown, we played against them last year. They're always tough to beat. I don't know all these coaches that well. I haven't seen Sean Burka, his team, play, but Tracy Leone, one of my favorite human beings of all time. She asked me to walk her down the aisle when she got married, and one of the great coaches in American soccer. And I've been following her, Steven. What an incredible job she's done there. An absolutely brilliant coach, a wonderful human being, and I just couldn't be happier for Tracy and the season she had. Erin Chastain connected with Brandy. Obviously, if any of the brains are similar, we obviously know that Erin can coach the game, just looking at what Brandy's achieved in her career. Amanda Cromwell, that's the last time I am recommending her for a coaching position ever again, because in her first year at UCLA, of course, she takes us out and then wins the national championship. She's done a brilliant job there at UCLA. G. Guerreri, every single year, has a fine team at Texas A&M. They made a great run this year to get into the Final Four, and no one works harder and does a better job than G for his team at Texas A&M. Obviously, Mark Krikorian, phenomenal, not just this season, but every year, unbelievably consistent. A tremendous coach, classy individual. His team plays the game the right way. And then Tim Ward, Pepperdine took us apart out there in California after we had tied UCLA. He deserves a lot of credit for what he's done at Pepperdine. He had a very fine team this year. So this is a tremendous collection of coaches.
No surprise, though, Anson, that Mark Krikorian wins the NSCAA Division I Coach of the Year.
Absolutely. And again, I have huge respect for Mark. His team is incredibly difficult to break down. He's got his kids playing in the right positions. He's doing all kinds of things that make it very difficult for you. He has a tailor-made way that his team is going to beat your team. He spends a lot of time with his excellent staff figuring out ways to beat absolutely everyone. And this season is a tremendous award for his body of work, which has been fine from the beginning. And I'm so glad that a coach of his caliber has broken through, because he deserves to win this thing.
And Anson, FSU's excellent SID, Jason Laterme, made sure we also heard from Coach Krikorian after we told him he won the NSCAA Coach of the Year.
Thanks, Dean. This is Lane Hurt, along with Florida State head coach Mark Krikorian. Coach, you've now had a few days to kind of let it sink in a little bit, everything that's happened since Sunday. What does this victory against Virginia and the season as a whole really mean to you?
Well, I think that it is starting to finally sink in, and all of us here in Tallahassee at Florida State are just thrilled and happy for the kids, happy for the program. It's another hurdle that we have finally conquered, and I think we're all just excited as can be about it.
It's also just been announced today that you are the NSCAA Division I Coach of the Year. What does that mean to you, getting an honor like that?
Well, I think that to the victor go the spoils, and have an awful lot of colleagues out there that have called and expressed their joy and shared joy with us about the result of the NCAA tournament. And obviously, when you have good players, when you win the national championship, sometimes these awards come your way, and it's nice, it's flattering, but it's a whole lot more than just about me. I got a great staff, we got great players, and it was a good season for us.
You've also been a member of the NSCAA for quite a long time. What does that organization mean to you?
Well, I think that it's one of the leading, if not the leading, soccer organizations, associations in the world, and their promotion of soccer at all levels in this country and throughout the world is just fantastic, and I think all of us that are involved in soccer appreciate the work they do.
Well, thank you, Coach, and again, congratulations. Now we're going to go ahead and send it back to Dean Linke in the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill.
Thank you so much, Jason, and congratulations, Mark. And before we get to the list of the winners for the Assistant Coach of the Year, you've worked with Bill Palladino forever, and even your goalkeeper coach, Chris Ducar, so you know how important a great assistant coach is.
Well, there's no question. I mean, Dino and I actually played together at UNC. We're good friends. In the old days when I was coaching men and women, we didn't plan a women's practice. We would actually organize it during the women's warm-up. The men would train first, and then the women would be next, and we can basically finish each other's sentences. But the other thing that's critical about an assistant is he can't agree with you all the time. And what I love about Dino is if he disagrees, I hear immediately. He's not afraid to tell me everything he thinks. This year, there was a war between when we should switch our semi-flatback 1-3-4-3 into the 4-2-3-1, and he was a raging advocate of always playing a 3-4-3. I'm looking at my team thinking they're hung out to dry. Maybe we should make it more conservative. And so there's this raging debate on the bench that the players can hear between the two of us about when we're going to make the switch. So, but I trust him. I trust his experience, his mind, and obviously all these coaches with these assistants that are successful. There's a great relationship between them. There has to be a mutual respect. And so, I have huge respect for Dino and Chris Ducar, two longtime assistants for me. And I'm sure there are other coaches out there that feel the same way about their assistants.
All right, let's take a look here now at the Division I Women Assistant Coach Regional Coaching Candidates. As you take a look at it there, Lisa Stoya at West Virginia. No surprise when you took a look at University of Washington, Texas A&M, Florida State. Great programs with great assistant coaches.
Absolutely, and these guys do a heck of a lot of work. I know in preparation for a game, they're doing a lot of the scut work that the head coach either doesn't have time for. So trust me, these people are the spine behind successful teams and good seasons. And so I'm glad now that the NSCAA is honoring them.
All right, let's take a look at the winner of your national assistant coach of the year. And of course, Mike Bristol taking it home at Florida State. And we also were able to spend some time and congratulate Coach Bristol.
I'm here with Florida State assistant coach Mike Bristol. And Mike, it was just announced you were named the Glenn Mooch-Miernick Assistant Coach of the Year, coming off a national championship in such a memorable season. What does this honor mean to you?
Well, it's obviously honored to receive the award, but I think that obviously with the people that I'm able to work with here at Florida State makes it possible to receive something like this. I look at more as a group award with all the staff here, and I'm obviously honored, but I think that you wouldn't get it by yourself, and it's all the people that are around you. And
you mentioned not by yourself. You're also another coach, head coach Mark Krikorian, getting Coach of the Year. What does it mean for both you and the program, you guys getting both of these awards in the same season?
Well, I think it's great, and it's partially due to the success of the team. Obviously, the players working hard every day and showing up, and all the success we've had, taking in the information that we give them, and then being able to apply it is obviously huge. So I think it's great for the program.
Thanks, Mike, and back to you.
I appreciate it so much. Congratulations, Florida State, with the sweep. They win the D1 title. They win the women's Division I Coach of the Year and also the Assistant Coach of the Year as well. Dean Linke back with Anson Dorrance. And, of course, great players make great coaches. Anson, now it's time to talk about the final three on the Mac Herman Award list. And no surprise, you know all three of these players very well.
Yeah, we played against all three teams last year. Obviously, two of them were in our conference. We've played UCLA the last couple of years as well, so I certainly know Sam Mewis, and her improvement in 4 years at UCLA has been tremendous. I mean, she came in as certainly a very good player, but I told her after the game when we tied UCLA out there this year that she's just gone to a completely different level. And obviously Jill Ellis thinks the same thing because she's now in Brazil with the U.S. full team. So there's a phenomenal player. Very, very effective in possession, scoring goals this year for UCLA. Obviously a tremendous candidate. My prejudice obviously is going to be in favor of the two ACC players that also had wonderful seasons. Morgan Bryan is one of the best attacking players we've ever seen in the ACC. And her achievements there in terms of goals and assists and basically just playing the game the way Virginia wants to play it has just been phenomenal. But my choice this year was Dagny, because in the 3 games that Florida State played against Virginia, Florida State won 1-0. And so I think to the victor should go the spoils, and I think Dagny should win the award this year, even though, listen, it takes nothing away from those other two phenomenal players.
All three of those players will be at the Missouri Athletic Club. You see it right there. Morgan Bryan Dagny, Brinjar's daughter, who gets Anson Dorrance's vote, and Sam Mewis. For Sam Mewis and Morgan Bryan right now with the U.S. national team in Brazil, and Dagny, Brinjar's daughter, a star for the Iceland national team as well. And of course, finally, Anson Dorrance, we mentioned it already, a huge year for women's soccer, the World Cup coming to Canada this summer. Right now, the U.S. team is down in Brazil. Tough going against Brazil and even China. We'll take a look here now at the group of death for the United States. You were the head coach winning the first World Cup in 1991. Take a look at that group and break it down, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for a team like the United States, there's no group of death. Their ambition is to win it. For the United States, we're at a position right now where if we're not world champions, we consider the World Cup a failure. And I'm not sharing anything new with Jill. I mean, this is the nature of the United States and where we are right now. So for us, there's no group of death. We fully expect to survive this group. And yes, these are good teams. I mean, Sweden, Pia Sundhage, former U.S. women's national coach, obviously a brilliant coach, is coaching that team. They will certainly be prepared for the United States. And interestingly enough, another former U.S. full team coach prepared Australia. So obviously his fingerprints are all over this Australia team. And then Nigeria, always a difficult team to play against because these are incredible athletes. They love 50-50 balls. And so, you know what, if you're going to go in against a Nigerian player in a 50-50, you know, there might be pieces missing at the end of that duel. So these are 3 challenging teams, but certainly we expect the U.S. to advance. And honestly, the better teams you play in group, you won't have as tough a schedule as you get through once you've escaped the group. So I don't think the U.S. is intimidated by this group. I know Jill isn't. I know her players aren't. Our expectation is to do as well as we can, and for us, it's to win the whole thing. So for the United States women, there's no group of death.
Finally, we welcome you back in here to the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill. Anson Dorrance, always a pleasure hanging out with you. Love talking soccer at all levels with you, Coach. Congrats on another great season. I know you'll be back in the College Cup next year.
Well, thank you, Dean, very much.
Anson Dorrance, the fine head coach of the UNC women's soccer team. When we come back, we'll hand out the rest of the awards for women's college soccer as well. And then a little later on, Kelly Finley, the head coach of the NC State men's soccer team, will help me hand out the awards on the men's side. As we roll on right here, it's the NSCAA Coaches Award Show right here on NSCAA TV.
The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready to go on.
Super excited.
Pretty excited.
Oh, super excited, yes. Now I'm excited to just be a part of it and experience it all, take it all in.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Head coach Dave Diani moved on to the Iowa women's soccer team where he did great things in the Big Ten this year, but the train keeps on moving. For Grand Valley State University, as their new head coach Jeff Hostler led the Lakers to their second consecutive NCAA Division II Women's Championship with a 3-0 victory over number 8 Rollins and head coach Alicia Shuck. Welcome you back into the Continental Tire Studios. Dean Linke, I want to thank Anson Dorrance for being with us in that first segment, and we congratulate again Mark Krikorian, the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. Let's hand out some hardware now for all the levels of women's college soccer, and we begin with D2 as we take a look here at your D2 Regional Coaches of the Year. Rob Berkowitz, Brian Ball, Kevin Meek, Troy Fabiano, Denise Brawley, Kevin Fickus, Jay Entlick, the former head coach of the Carolina Courage down the road here at WakeMed Soccer Park, and Isabel Harvey. And your winner, now with 4 straight visits to the Division II Final Four, former Rollins star and their all-time leader with 51 goals and 121 points. And Rollins SID superstar Clay Starrett made sure we heard from Alicia Shuck, your winner at the D2 level.
Rollins had a magical year in 2014 under the direction of fourth-year head coach Alicia Shuck, making it all the way to the Division II National Championship game before falling to Grand Valley State. Today, Coach Shuck was announced as the NSCAA Division II Women's Coach of the Year, and we're joined now by Coach Shuck. Coach, a great year, so close to winning it all. Now you're named Coach of the Year.
It's been a storybook season for our team and our program, and we are so excited to have finished the way that we did. We would have loved to win in the end, but just getting there is a huge accomplishment for our team, for our coaching staff, and most importantly, our seniors. We had a plan in mind from the beginning of the season. We had a hashtag RTK, Road to Kentucky, and the girls were phenomenal all season to keep their eyes looking at that and to keep winning throughout the tournament, and especially to get to Kentucky. And once we were there, we didn't want to do anything but win, and they gave it their best shot. We were just so proud of their efforts, and we're going to try to get back there again in future seasons.
What was the key to the team coming together this year?
We have some unbelievable senior leadership. Some girls who've been in the program for 4 years who've, again, had their eye on getting to a Final Four and gave it their all in their senior season. So they were a huge factor. I think in that, in combination with our staff, Donna Fisher helped us on the intangible side of soccer to really help with our team chemistry and to express our values and our mission statement, and to really get us focused on what it's going to take to get to a Final Four. And that, along with our other assistants, Sam, Joe, Deese, they are phenomenal, and the girls love them so much. So it was kind of a everything came together at the right time, at the right period, and that was surely something that we'll always remember. All the stars aligned for us this season.
Finally, I know as we sit here, you're proud of this honor from the NSCAA.
It's an unbelievable honor to hold. I've been to the NSCAA convention quite a few times and have sat in the awards banquet and sort of said, oh, look how amazing, what amazing feeling that must be. So it's a little surreal for me right now, but I'm surely going to enjoy the moment up in Philadelphia and thank my peers who got to vote for this award and also share the stage with one of our girls who was an All-American.
Thanks, Coach. Now let's go back to Dean Linke in the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill.
Congratulations, Coach Chuck, who has been to the D2 tournament the last 4 years, winning it this year. Let's take a look here now at the D3 regional candidates for Women's Coach of the Year. And you see Pete Phelps, Chris Roche, Kelly Bryan, Mark Stauffer, Norm Riker, T.R. Bell, Todd Olson, and Angelina Payne. And your winner is Dr. Todd Olson. As the 21-year head coach at Lynchburg, led them to the first team national championship in school history as they knocked in 4 penalty kicks to knock off Williams College and winning in double overtime as Lynchburg SID Gordon Merck got this interview with Dr. Todd Olson.
Dr. Todd Olson and Lynchburg College won the Women's Division III championship with a penalty kick victory over Williams College. It was the 27th victory for the Hornets, tying a national record. Today, Coach Olson was announced as the NSCAA Division III Women's Coach of the Year. Coach, congrats on the honor.
Thank you. It's just a great privilege to be named NCAA Division III Coach of the Year. It should be called Coaching Staff of the Year. I've got just an amazing staff, and our community support and administrative support at Lynchburg has just been phenomenal. So I feel very blessed and very thankful to be able to bring this honor to Lynchburg College.
What makes Lynchburg such a special place for women's soccer?
Well, we think that there's three pillars on which we stand all the time. The first one is soccer, and we just love it. The kids love to play. They're committed, and they're the best time of their day. And my day is going to practice, and we just love to be around each other and to play soccer. Second part of that's just to be really good students. We really emphasize academics. We think it's vital, critical, important, and we make them understand that, and that's part of it. And our third pillar, which is maybe one of our great strengths, is our service. We really think that service is a big part of being an all-around person, and we do a lot of work, and we've got some great programs going on in Africa right now, and we're currently sponsoring 10 young women we call the WOW Girls, and we're putting them through paying for their full education. And we're also peer mentoring 13 girls from a local middle school that are sort of high risk for choices, and we want to show them that college and successful women being a successful woman is a great option.
Finally, Coach, we will see you in Philadelphia for the NSCAA convention, where you will receive your Coach of the Year plaque.
Yeah, I'll be very excited. I'm going to be amongst my peers and more importantly, some of my mentors that have guided me and shaped me as a coach. And I'm just very humbled to be here in Philadelphia, where there's just so many amazing, amazing coaches at every level. And just appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Now let's go back to Dean Linke in the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill.
Congrats to Dr. Todd Olson. Up next, we go to the NAIA winners in the women's game. Up first, their regional selections: Samantha Bohan, Stuart Gore, Bill Bear, Lincoln Robley, Christy Keeley, Drew Burwash, and Jimmy Hapton. And head coach Drew Burwash is your winner, as Lindsey Wilson's women's soccer captured the program's 4th national title, all under Burwash in just 12 seasons, with a 3-0 win over Northwestern Ohio in the NAIA National Championships at the Orange Beach Sportsplex this year. Now let's look at the National Christian College Athletic Association D1 and D2 winners in the women's game. Winning the D1 award of the NCCAA is Matt Yelton, Lee University, Tennessee. He led Lee to 4 consecutive NAIA national championships from 2008 to 2011. And after watching the Lee men's soccer team win its first NCAA national championship, the Lady Flames decided to make it an all-Lee University day when they defeated a talented Grace College from Indiana team 6-5 on penalty kicks to win the NCCAA Women's National Championships. And at the D2 level of NCCAA, it's Mark Bates from Clearwater Christian College in Florida. In just his 5th season as the women's head coach, the Lady Cougar soccer team became the NCCAA D2 champions after defeating Marantha Baptist Bible College 2-0 in the championship game. Time now to go to the junior college ranks and take a look at the NJCAA regional winners at the women's D1 level. You see Jeff Carr there, Jurgen Hertner, Adam Hunter, and of course your winner from Monroe College. You see him right there is Jordan Garbar, his second overtime winner over Iowa Central on a PK from Ann Carol Rodriguez. Gave him the national championship in just 3 seasons. And at the junior college D3 level, take a look here now at your regional coaches of the year. Ryan Brooks Newton, Katie Miller, William Fakis, and Oliver German. And Oliver will walk home with your D3 winner. And we congratulate him as well, your Division III title after a great season. Congrats again. Brookdale actually won the D3 title, but a great season for Oliver German. So there you have it. Congratulations to all of the winners of the NSCAA Coach of the Year Awards on the women's side. When we come back, NC State men's soccer coach Kelly Finley will join me to break down the NSCAA Men's Coach of the Year winners. Stay with us right here on NSCAA TV.
The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready to go on.
Super excited.
Pretty excited.
Oh, super excited, yes. Now I'm excited to just be a part of it and experience it all, take it all in.
Now is your chance to be part of the most popular soccer camp in North America. Challenger Sports offers a wide range of programs with over 3,000 British soccer, Tetra Brazil, and Soccer Plus camps for players of all ages and abilities. Join me and Challenger's talented and committed coaches as we help develop new skills, build confidence, and find the magic in your game.
Summer camps are filling up. Register early at challengersports.com and get your free game jersey today.
Congratulations to our 3 finalists for the 2014 Mac Herman Men's Watch List. You see Alex Bono, the fine goalkeeper from Syracuse. He will be in St. Louis, along with Andy Craven, had a big-time senior year for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and Leo Stoles, the UCLA midfielder who led UCLA to the College Cup championship game. Of course, they fell to Virginia, but we congratulate Alex Bono, Andy Craven, and Leo Stoles, your final 3 for the 2014 Men's Mac Herman finalist. Congratulations to Kelly Brown and the Virginia Cavaliers and their head coach George Gelnovich, winning his 2nd title, and it's now the 7th overall for the University of Virginia Cavaliers as they knocked off UCLA. It went 110 minutes, no score, then it went to penalty kicks, and that man right there, 6'5", Callie Brown, helped Virginia knock off UCLA at Wakemed Soccer Park, and the Virginia Cavaliers are indeed your Division I men's soccer national champions. And we welcome you back to the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill. It's been a great show. We've got women covered. I want to thank Anson Dorrance for helping us out on the D1 level as well. And of course, more coming on the men's side. Let's show you what's on tap coming up right here on NSCAA TV. Just like last year, the very articulate and outstanding coach at NC State, Kelly Finley, will join me. We'll have a recap from this Saturday's game down the road at Cardinal Gibbons High School for both the boys and girls high school All-America games. The best seniors in the land were there. We'll hand out some hardware for the 2014 High School and Youth Coach of the Year. And of course, we're here now to unveil all the winners on the men's side for your Coach of the Years for all of college soccer as well, every single level. And to do that, we've got to have the help of Kelly Finley. What a great job he's done at NC State. As you take a look at his credentials, now in his 4th season, 59 wins at 5 seasons at Butler, 500 this year, but big wins over Louisville and South Carolina, and a tie over Syracuse, who at the time was the number 2 team in the country. I always enjoy hanging out with Coach Finley, and he joins me now here in the Continental Tire Studios. Good to see you, Coach Finley.
Good to see you, Dean. Thanks for having me back.
Talk about your season real quick this year for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it was a good season. We had, we had a really young, strong group come in. We had a very good recruiting class, but unfortunately, guys getting hurt was kind of the deal this year. Very difficult year from that standpoint, but a lot of growth. We're playing in the best league in the country, and so there's not much margin for error. And I don't think any of the other teams are just going to have a bad year, if that makes sense. So, and UVA is a good example of that. They're all strong, but pleased with where we're headed, and really pleased with our young group.
Well, that sets the table perfectly for the Final Four recap. Of course, it was played at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina, just a stone's throw from NC State. Break down the Final Four of the College Cup for us, Coach.
Well, I thought it was an exciting Final Four. It's always great to see a couple of, I wouldn't say they're smaller teams, but teams that don't have the history of getting to the Final Four. That always makes it exciting. I think everybody loves an underdog, and then you have 2 teams that have multiple national championships. So I thought the games were excellent. I really thought that Providence and UMBC, they look like the teams that are just playing with some freedom. Where I felt like Virginia and UCLA, although they ended up winning the games, they looked like the teams that kind of were expected to win. Looked like they played with a little more pressure, and I thought Providence and UMBC were very open. Really did a great job representing their schools, their coaches, and their programs. And then the final was a final. I think we all anticipate these big finals, whether it's Champions League or World Cups or Division I finals, and you get there and they kind of die out a little bit because there is so much pressure. To me, the semifinals were really, really solid, open, fun games, and the final was a final.
That's well said. Great comparing to the Premier League as well. You don't always get high-scoring affairs in that. Well, Kelly, as you know, lots of talk about the future of college soccer, including the idea of a split season, fall and spring. And we talked to NSCAA Director of College Programs, Rob Keogh, this past weekend about that and so much more. Rob, big year in college soccer. Give us a recap.
Well, it's been another terrific year to see the quality, visibility, and popularity of college soccer grow. We're at the conclusion of the season. We're going to crown a champion of the men's game, Division I this weekend. The women crowned theirs and all the other divisions last weekend. So it's been a great year. And probably one of the main things has been the increase of coverage of the college game. Conference networks, the NSCAA TV has certainly taken the lead as far as promoting and producing games for every division, including our 20-game college soccer special that you and Keith and others have done a great job with.
Thanks, Rob. Big issues moving forward.
Well, there is big issues because the future of college soccer is certainly being discussed and has drawn a significant amount of attention at all levels of the NCAA. There's been talk of the possibility of expanding the season to a full academic year season. Whether that happens or not is to be determined, but probably the biggest thing that's going to happen is in February, late February, there's going to be a sports science summit specific to soccer to evaluate the game. It's going to have FIFA representatives, NCAA chief medical officer is directing it, U.S. Soccer will be there, member institutions, coaches, student athletes from the game of soccer, and it's a first of its kind to study a sport for all of the sports in the NCAA landscape, and we'll see out of that recommendations as far as the future of the sport.
Rob, thanks for all you do for college soccer.
It's a pleasure, Dean, and thank you as well.
Great work, as always, by Rob Keogh. You're right in the middle of the notion of a split season. How do you feel about it, Coach?
Well, I think from a soccer pure standpoint, it's exactly what we need to do. I think for our players to be able to play 10 months out of the year and get the training and the high-level games. And, one, they miss less class time, so that's an important piece. Prevents injury. Those little pieces are the two main reasons why I think it should happen. And the third one really is now player development. As our country grows, the pro league goes up, our national team does better. For us to ever get to that upper echelon of top-level teams in the world, I think we need that piece. And we have such a strong group of players that play in college that it'd be vital. The real question is the NCAA going to open that door for us, which I hope does happen.
All right, you ready to get to work and hand out some awards?
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a look here now at the NSCAA Division I Regional Coach of the Year for men's college soccer. Some pretty prominent names on that list, Kelly.
Yeah, for sure. Some ones that pop out, obviously Ray Reed's done a great job. Jeremy Gunn, what he did at Charlotte, I think everybody knows that. And then to go straight out to Stanford and do it. Elmar has a great history at Creighton. And here at UNC, obviously. And then Aiden Haney is one I'd just like to recognize, a good friend of mine who does a great job with that program and been fantastic. And then Ian McIntyre, they finished 10th in the ACC last year. And then to jump out to what they did this year, I think just shows great coaching and quality. And Ian's a great guy, and obviously Kevin's done a good job. And I don't know Rich, but I don't want to forget him on the list since I've named everybody else. So all those guys were fantastic.
Well said. And Eric DeCosca also representing the Northeast and really coming out of nowhere with an unbelievable run in the College Cup, knocking off Maryland, knocking off Louisville, and coming all the way through is Pete Caringi Jr. And as you said, I thought it was a great performance against Virginia, UMBC, and Pete Caringi Jr. 24 incredible years at UMBC.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Pleased for him, pleased for his program, and I thought they really represented themselves well. Obviously, any team that gets to the Final Four, there's no mistake there. They've done the work, they put the time in, and I think when you watch the game, they represented themselves well. I thought they were in their opponent's half. I thought they were pressing, they worked hard, and that's a really, really good player. So obviously, Pete's not only recruited well, but organized them well.
Take a look here now at the Men's Division I Assistant Coach of the Year regional candidates. And you know better than anybody, you got to have a good assistant coach to lead a team.
You really do. The quality of your staff really makes the quality of your team, and obviously whether that just means players, but your assistants carry a lot of the legwork that you can't do yourself as a head coach. And obviously I recognize quite a few names on the list, and a lot of the schools too are represented well, and I think all of those guys obviously are up and coming coaches.
Great list right there. And your winner this year of the Glenn Mooch Marnick Assistant Coach of the Year, of course we all knew Mooch very well, is Robert B.J. Craig at the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, BJ's been around. He's been a head coach. He's been an assistant at a couple different programs, but BJ's a great coach, but he's a great man as well. Got great character. I know he's a real family man. Really loves his players, and I'm not surprised he got this award. And I think he's been doing a great job for many, many years, and I think he'll continue to do so and help Notre Dame be successful.
Time now to take a look at your D2 regional winners for the men's collegiate game, and you've got Rob Zalanka from Northeastern State, Andreas Lindberg from LIU Post, Mike Carpenter, Quincy, Clinton Brown, Christian Brothers University, Brian Young, St. Edwards, Cole Michelson, Northwest Nazarene, and Chris Grassi from Charleston and Mark McKeever as well.
I do. Both those guys have been at other programs and come into their situations and really, really rebuilt and really made a name for those schools. And that to me is hard to do. It takes a lot of hard work to take something from maybe not so great into something that's impressive, and I think that's why they're on the list.
And the winner, though, coming from Lynn University, winning his second title in the last 3 years at the D2 level, is John Roots, Lynn University. They also have the best GPA in the country for the second year as well, as we congratulate John Roots, the winner at the D2 level. Let's take a look here now at the Division III men's regional winners for Coach of the Year. As you take a look at it, Ian Byrne from SUNY Oneonta, Christopher Keller at Wabash University, Sean Topping is on the list, Josh Shapiro at Tufts University, Kirk Artis at Wartburg College, Steve Shaw, Christopher Newport University, and Paul McGinley. And Michael Giuliano pretty well.
I do, yeah. Mike's been around. He was at Westmont for quite a while, and now coming back to Wheaton and taking that job there. And obviously Wheaton's been kind of a powerhouse in Division III for quite a while, and pleased to see him on that list. He's done a good job with that program.
Josh Shapiro with a 16-2-4 record helped the Jumbos complete an historic season with their first national championship win in school history of any sport. Tufts defeated the Wheaton College Thunder that Kelly Finley just talked about in a game for the ages by a final of 3-2 in just his 5th season at Tufts, as we congratulate Josh. Now, let's go to NAIA, so important for college soccer as well, for these young men to be able to play at the NAIA level. Let's take a look now at your men's Coach of the Year candidates regionally. As you see it there, Steven Hernandez, St. Andrews, Chris Hughes, Davenport, Dan Hogan, Lindenwood University, Vladimir Simic, Missouri Valley College, Tim Wolz, St. Catherine College, Dan Balaguero, University of Texas, Jim Rickard, the Masters College, and Steve DeCoux, Georgia Gwinnett College, and of course Balaguero, University of Texas, Brownsville. And they were in the final, but they lost to the winner of the NAIA Men's Coach of the Year, who is Chris Hughes, Davenport University. The first NAIA National Championship clinched by a team sport in Davenport. They did it with a 2-1 overtime win over Texas at Brownsville. Congratulations to Coach Hughes. Now it's time to talk NCCAA, the Christian College Association of America. And we'll start first with your Division I men at the NCAA level. And how about Paul Fury? Denied last year, but they win it this year with a 2-1 win over Bethel College of Indiana. And at the D2 level for NCCAA, it's Jeff Pill. This man's been around a long, long time as well, and they win it as well for Maranatha Baptist University in Wisconsin. I'm hoping I said that right, as they had a 2-1 win over Ohio Christian. And take a look now at the junior college level. We've seen a lot of great players go from junior college to the Division I level and help teams win a national championship. As you take a look at your candidates there for Division I National Coach of the Year, Marcus DiBernardo, Rick Larson, Chris Handy, and Steve Clemens. But once again, Steve Clemens winning his 4th title at Tyler Junior College, a 2-1 win over Monroe College. And Steve Clemens, one of the best coaches at that level for a long, long time, and a regular here on NSCAA TV. And let's take a look at your D3 at the junior college level, your regional candidates: Frank Vertullo from Suffolk County Community College, Eric Solberg, Fresno City College, Sean Worley, Richland College, and Benny Arteaga at Cerritos College. And Benny, in his 9th season, will win it this year at the Division III level. Another great season for Benny, as we congratulate him for taking it home. And the other thing they do at the junior college level is they also recognize the importance of your assistant coach, as we take a look at the Junior College Assistant Coach of the Year candidates right there. And this is for both men and women. They combine it into one. Trey Livingston, a men's coach at Montgomery College. Rebecca Valdez coaches on the women's side at Laramie County Community College. You have Alfonso Perez and Guillermo Gonzalez. And taking it home is Trey Livingston. A fine season at Montgomery College, as we congratulate Trey for winning the Junior College Assistant Coach of the Year, and joined again by Kelly Finley. It's indeed an honor to be recognized by the NSCAA for these awards, Coach.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, I think as coaches, these guys put in tireless hours. They work incredibly hard, invest in their teams, and prepare well. And it's not always just about wins and losses, so it's great for these guys to get some recognition.
Finally, Coach, as you think about where college soccer sits right now, we touched on it earlier, but college soccer, great crowds this year on NSCAA TV and the College Soccer Game of the Week. It feels like it definitely has its place, and it continues to grow.
There's no question. I mean, I think, it's great to see the sport grow. I mean, I can remember when I was a kid watching the World Cup on the Spanish channel and not knowing what was going on. I'm the only person on my street that knew what soccer was. And now you can catch MLS games live, ESPN3, television, all over the place. So I think college soccer has a great niche. I think in America, the money isn't there at the top levels, so there's not very far to fall. So it's important that you come out with an education. And then the training environment that some of the coaches you've seen on the list provide is fantastic for youth development.
And quickly, what can we expect next year from the NC State Wolfpack men's soccer team?
Great things. We have a great group. We have great team chemistry and a bunch of guys who are hungry to prove themselves. It's a tough league, but that's where you want to be. You want to be in the best league in the country, and I look forward to seeing what we do.
He's got some big recruits coming in as well. It's Kelly Finley, the head coach of the NC State Wolfpack, helping us hand out some hardware for men's college soccer. Coach, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dean.
We come back, we'll take a look at the winners at the high school level and also crown a youth coach of the year as well. We'll do it all right here on NSCAA TV. Stay with us.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
The NSCAA convention to me is probably the best place to get any sort of education of a wide variety that you can go in the world.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready to go on.
Super excited.
Pretty excited.
Oh, super excited, yes. Now I'm excited to just be a part of it and experience it all, take it all in.
An incredible doubleheader here at Cardinal Gibbons High School in Raleigh, North Carolina for the girls and boys high school All-America game as seen right here on NSCAA TV. The girls were up first. Dean Linke along with Kyle Straub, and it was all West with a 5-0 victory.
It was all West all day long, and from the get-go, they were on fire. The first goal, Haley Skomolski gets it for the West. Beats Lupe on a really nice play, able to chest it down and get around her for goal one.
And Lupe would be challenged again, a handball on this play.
Handball on the corner kick. Really tough position that it puts Lupe in, already down 1-0. And it is Maddie Kincaid who takes it, and she doesn't give Lupe a chance. Puts it in the back left corner and buries it.
West wasn't done. More goals in the second
West
half, Kyle.
was not done. They came out and they picked up right where they left off. It was Avery Collins who gets the third goal for the West. And then you see right there, that was Avery Collins with it. And then Collins, she's not done as she goes and gets an assist as she crosses it right to the right foot of Fawcett. Lupe misplays it. Fawcett does not back the net. Now we're at 4-0.
And again, the West not done. Carolyn Dreyer with a great game.
Not done. Carolyn Dreyer able to get behind the defense. Left foot. Lupe makes the save, but it's hit so hard that it deflects off of her and still has enough momentum to get in the back of the net.
So game one, the girls high school All-America game goes to the West team, coached by Frank Dixon, Pat McDonald, Lee Mitchell, and Chrissy Rabadon. Then it was time for the boys high school All-America game, a tight contest and really great soccer as well. The West would come back from a 1-0 lead to win it 2-1 as we roll to the highlights, Kyle.
And on this one, it was the opposite. The East started off strong. You see this great pass upfield. Gets Francis Atuaheni. He gets loose. One move to beat a defender. Freezes the goalkeeper. And it's this move right there that frees him up. Freezes the keeper, puts it in the back of the net. East up 1-0.
He'll play for Shaka Daly in the University of Michigan, but the West would answer.
And it was a Michigan State player that answers. They start the rivalry here today in the All-American game. It was DeJuan Jones who scores the goal for the West. You see it coming. And it was early that this man, Edward Opoku, got started. An opportunity, just missing it.
And here is Jones. We'll see more from Mr. Opoku.
And Jones is the one who ties it up. This was right before half. It was so big, 1-0. Ties it up. It goes to half, 1 apiece.
And he'll play at Michigan State, Mr. Michigan, and now Opoku.
Opoku undecided. Whoever gets him is going to get a great player. You see him doing it all by himself as he puts it in the back of the net, and that is what turns out to be the game winner.
That young man was magical for the West, a big-time entertainer as well. 2-1 your final score.
All right, now by the power of TV, let's throw it back to Dean Linke in the Continental Tire Studios back in Chapel Hill.
Thank you, Kyle Straub. So much fun hanging out with you for the boys and girls high school All-America games. I want to thank Anson Dorrance and Kelly Finley as well as we roll on here as part of the NSCAA Coach of the Year Awards and a perfect setup for the high school awards. And we begin at the girls level. Let's take a look at your regional and winners of the high school Coach of the Year. First, we show you the nominations for large school high school girls Coach of the Year. An impressive list there indeed, and your winner goes to Rosanna Lord from Melbourne High School in Florida as we congratulate Rosanna Lord. Let's take a look now at your high school girls small school regional winners. An impressive list indeed, covering the entire country. And your winner at the high school small school level is Richard Finneyfrock from Villa Joseph Marie High School in Pennsylvania. Congratulations to Richard Finneyfrock. And at the high school girls private parochial level, you take a look right there at your regional winners. And we congratulate your National Coach of the Year at the private parochial level on the girls' side. It's Randy Heathis from Unity Christian High School in Michigan, as we congratulate Randy Heathis for getting it done at the high school girls level. That's on the girls level. Let's take a look now at your high school boys award winners. We start first with your regional winners at the large school, as we break down that list right here on NSCAA TV, again, covering the entire country. And your winner goes to Jerry McCabe, also from Melbourne High School in Florida. The sweep for those two coaches. Congratulations to Jerry McCabe. Now we'll take a look here at the regional winners for high school boys at the small school level. We'll let everybody get some time right here on NSCAA TV. An impressive list indeed. Your winner, though, of the small school level in 2014 is Frank Spinello, Mason High School in Virginia. A big-time year, as always, for Coach Spinello, as we congratulate him for taking home the hardware. And at the high school boys private parochial level, Robert Hartman is your winner on this impressive list. And Robert Hartman at Moravian Academy, Pennsylvania, as we give you time to both absorb the regional winners and your national winner as well, which is Robert Hartman, as we congratulate him for bringing it home as well. And of course, as we know, and we've heard Anson say and Coach Finley say as well, can't get it done with outstanding assistant coaches as well. As we take a look here at your regional nominations for high school assistant coach of the year. And taking it home, the winner this year of your NSCAA High School Assistant Coach of the Year is none other than John O'Donnell. We congratulate him for winning the Assistant Coach of the Year. He is the assistant coach at St. Christopher School in Virginia. And finally now, we need to nominate and name the winner, rather, of the NSCAA Youth Girls Coach of the Year, as well as boys. And we start with the girls, and your winner from the Michigan Wolves Hawks Soccer Club, Michelle Krizenik. Congratulations to Michelle. And then how about for the Youth Boys Coach of the Year from the always impressive McLean Youth Soccer Association in Virginia, it's Jameel Walker, pretty good player as well, now getting it done at the youth level. Congratulations to both Michelle and Jameel. We may see all of these winners, we hope we do, at the 2015 NSCAA Convention. That'll be January 14th through 18 in Philadelphia. You can still register for the world's largest soccer show at nscaa.com/convention. A monster show indeed, as we appreciate you staying with us right here on NSCAA TV, as we congratulate all the winners, and we couldn't do it without the incredible work of the NSCAA Awards Committee, led by Steve Veal, legendary NSCAA Awards manager. And I want to thank each and every one of our NSCAA Coach of the Year national chairs: Jerry DiBartolo, John Daly, Mitch Ellison, Scott Oliver, Dan Wood, Mark Zagara, Dennis Grassini, Lee Horton, and we have more to thank as well on this list. You see them right there: Doug Kidd, the legendary Louise Waxler, Marshall Ray, Tom Kirchhoff, and Greg Maw. Couldn't do this show without the great work of our sports information directors, as well as we want to thank once again Anson Dorrance and Kelly Finley. How about Joe Cummings and the crew from the NSCAA, especially Kathleen Hermesh? I want to thank Kyle Lang, Josh Rivas, Nelson Hurst, Ian Lang, and everybody at UNC New Media. For everybody, the entire gang, I'm Dean Linke saying thank you so much for watching us right here on NSCAA TV. We will see you at the convention, and stay tuned for exciting interviews and so much more from the 2015 NSCAA convention. We say so long. Congratulations to all the winners of the NSCAA Coach of the Year Awards, and thank you for watching NSCAA TV.